Hello, and welcome to the Libri Labro Book Club. My name is Desiree, and I am joined by my husband, John, aka BookTube Hubby, and also Tom, Book Club VIP member. Really quick, before we kind of jump into things, if you ever want to join us on camera to discuss the books and be part of an exclusive Facebook group where we talk about the media we're consuming and also be in a rotation where you help pick the books, you can do that by becoming a Book Club VIP member on patreon.com/LibriLabra. For the month of March, we are the book pick was The Third Policeman by Flann O'Brien. And we're going to do some initial thoughts, and then we'll kind of jump into spoiler territory. And this was Tom's pick, so I'm going to let you.
It wasn't.
I'm going to very much.
I laid the table, and you picked which meal you wanted.
Okay. You know what? I do want to say, first of all, I'm disappointed that I don't know how this happened because I went as far as previewing the book before I picked it because I was like, let me make sure I can read this and I'll be okay reading this. And I feel like I read a couple of pages and I was like, I could do this. It's not a super long book. I was like, all right. But, you know, my initial thought is that I'm trying to decide. If
we could accept that, and then initial thought was,
I don't know how you put that in a good reason.
Go ahead.
Like, because there was one moment where, like, and I highlighted it because I actually laughed.
Oh,
so let me see. I'll find it in a second. Anyway, I'm like, when I got to that moment and I laughed, I was like, is absurdist humor like an acquired taste? Do I have to keep forcing myself to read this? Or like, is it just not for me? And I don't think I've come to a final decision yet, but I'm getting closer to one, I think.
Did you finish it?
Yes, mostly. Okay. Like more than not.
So no. Okay, continue.
But yeah, I just there was another part that I read that I like sent a text to my friend because I told her that I was reading this for book club because she was like, why are you reading this? And I was like, it was picked for book club, so I have to read it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. I was curious, so that was what the reason why I picked it. A little bit more curiosity because I read some of Nicky Blue's stuff, and he's absurdist from the UK. So like I was like, okay, let's see what else comes from, you know. And this is Ireland, so it's like I just want to. I'm okay with it to a certain extent.
Right.
This isn't like initial thoughts, so we'll worry about that later. But I don't know. Mine was curiosity. So
are we in spoiler territory now?
No, not yet. You didn't share your initial thoughts.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. I put it on the list because I had read That Swim Two Birds, which I loved, and it was absolutely bonkers. And this one proves no different. But this is more philosophical than. This one deals with philosophy. The other one deals with literature, and I'll just leave it at that.
But, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's how we got to Flann O'Brien. Yeah, I've read Swim Two Birds like twice now. So.
I had to go look up a few things to get a little a point of reference, and that was brought up a couple times in the Reddit posts that I read about this book. So.
You were reading Reddit posts about it?
Yeah, man. I had to go figure out like what I was.
What the hell is going on?
Yeah, what did I miss? Because there was something, but I didn't miss it. It just confirmed what I was looking for.
What you strongly suspected. Yeah. Well, that's good. It sounds like we are going into spoiler territory now.
Yes,
it's probably a good idea.
Jumping into spoiler territory. I like, obviously my problem is like I just don't get it. And I just don't get it. Get it. Like I'm asking myself, like, how do we get here? Like as a writer, like what are you even thinking when you're writing? Like I just it doesn't make sense to me. And let me see what the one thing that I laughed at was. think I highlighted like 3 different things.
I'm probably using the word pretentious wrong, but I feel like there's a lot of like very long, big worded sentences that send you in a circle. So I was like, wait, I was like, hang on here. Let me reread this and make sure I just got the gist of what just happened. Yeah, that was it. Never mind. He just used a lot of big words to get there. Okay, cool.
Well,
so
you got to use them or you lose them. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I had to really think through a few of these paragraphs to be able, like, what exactly just happened? Hang on.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
so
fair.
Okay, so I'm disappointed because I didn't highlight the one thing that made me laugh.
Oh no!
But it was something about like taking steps, and then he was like, "Yeah, steps in this way and steps in the right direction." And I don't know. I thought that was.
We'll have to go hunt for it then. You can't paraphrase like that. We got to know. You got to know.
Okay, good start, and I'll find it. I can search.
So, what do you think it's about? I guess it's the first question.
I'm actually curious if it was like more of a karmic effect for what was going on in one of the situations. Like him and John Divney did a thing, and then
yes. We are in spoiler territory.
Yeah. Okay. So but I mean, like either way,
would it surprise you to find out that you're correct?
I don't know. Yes and no. I don't know. Because I was like, it was because when we got to the end, and I was like, and I suspected about 3/4 of the way through, this guy died, and something, and then he's going through a fever dream after
no,
death.
not a fever dream.
But like it was just a ghost. He was a ghost going back and dealing with something.
Correct,
but the policeman walking him through different areas of whatever they did in that other room, just I was like, all right, that was crazy. But he you can only go back as much as you can. You weigh yourself before going in. When going back out, you have to weigh the same. And I was like, oh, that's an interesting way to tighten up that plot.
Well, they had to, because like they there's no novelist that will let the character that I have all those ridges and such.
Right.
So it's like, okay, how is he going to prevent it from taking him with him? Okay, that's the elevator.
But it was funny that the policeman is like, watch this. He just asked for all these things, but we're gonna watch him just go, oh.
Okay, so the part that I laughed at was the inspector asking, "And what steps have you taken, and how many steps?" barked the inspector. "Long steps and steps in the right direction," replied the sergeant evenly. "I know who the murderer is."
There you go.
Oh, I thought that was funny. And that was it. That was the one part.
That one line, yeah.
I just when we get to the point there, the main character doesn't remember his own name and he can't tell anybody who he is or what. Well, then apparently it's all philosophical to like to an absurdist. Actually, it's kind of like it's
yes, that is exactly the intention. And Desiree, this may spoil the book for you, or it may be an aha moment. I'm not sure which, but you know what John and I are talking about.
Well, yeah, that he's dead.
Yes, in the second chapter when he reaches for the strongbox.
Yeah. John Divney put a bomb under the
mine
under the floorboards. When he told him to go get it, he went up and got it, blew up, and then John Divney went up and got the box for himself and took off with it afterwards. And apparently married the guy's wife.
I don't think he had a wife at the time.
Oh, so it was Divney's wife that was okay, because the way it was worded in one spot, I actually thought that he come in and he found John Divney with his wife, but it's John Divney's wife. It was just worded weird. Okay. But when Divney, seeing him as a ghost, had a heart attack and died.
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah.
Correct.
He's like, "You're supposed to be dead. How am I seeing you?" And I just did that whole scene. I saw John Divney screaming like a girl. It's just
yes, and then to tie that all together, when the main character dies, he ends up in hell. John Divney dies, he joins him.
Yeah.
And we essentially start at the beginning, which is your circle. Is it about a bicycle? That's like, this time it is.
The policeman being completely obsessed with bicycles.
Yes. And he did too, the main character, like toward the end. I thought that was great.
Well, if he spent some time on that other person's bicycle and slowly started becoming one with it.
Yeah. They're apparently very into bicycles in hell. For some reason.
That story about them hanging the bicycle instead of the guy.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, it's part of the gang, so. But yeah, something she said, okay, apparently we're doing this now, and that's probably the best way to take the book. That's what I took it when I read it. But like him in toward the beginning where he meets Martin Finucane, the one-legged man who apparently leads all the other one-legged men. Right. In that place.
That whole story about them coming to save him, and then it must have been time enough for them to keep the policeman busy.
Yeah.
I don't. Them explaining what the third policeman was and how he's in and out during times, and they never see him. Is he also a ghost too?
Are the other policemen ghosts?
No. Well, that's a great question too.
Yep. Well, yeah.
How are they?
How are
they talking to each other if that's the case?
Yeah, or they're just having to be like the inhabitants of hell. Not that they did anything wrong necessarily, but that's where demons be. I don't know.
Who knows? What if the sergeant was so obsessed with stealing other people's bicycles and then solving the problem for them that was his place in hell?
Yep. And again, your time loop. This is their eternity.
Is it about a bicycle?
Oh my god.
Yeah, but which I thought was an interesting juxtaposition when they go down the elevator. Oh, this is eternity. It's like, yes and no, because you exist, but things don't change. Like you're the prime mover of everything in there. It's not like real eternity where time actually passes and things revolve around you and things go on. In that particular thing, they are the prime movers, and that's everything happens at their behest, in my opinion. So it's a counterfeit eternity to me.
Okay.
As opposed to the real eternity that they experience above ground with the bicycles. So
there's a couple things that I remember. I have to remember that, and now they're just not here.
Oh, sorry.
You seem now like you enjoyed it a lot more than while you were reading it.
It was honestly, I had like I said, I had to reread it a few times in certain spots to be all like, why are we doing this? But yeah, I mean,
sometimes you just don't.
What if I just enjoyed talking to Tom about it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to contradict any of your feelings. I'm just saying you were saying that it was like a challenge while you were reading it.
Yeah. But, it is a challenge. It is a challenge. Yeah, you're right. You got that right.
Sure. I know at some point, I guess there was a part about seeing a younger version of yourself in the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
And John was like, "What do you think about that?" And I was like, "Well, who cares?"
Wow. Okay. Dorian Gray, go away. Yeah. Or no, who's the other one? Benjamin Button.
It seemed that one of the policemen was really obsessed with quantum entanglement in a certain way.
The atomic theory, yes.
So, like, he made boxes inside of boxes, inside of boxes, and then lost his mind when the dude came running through the room, and then knocked some of them around.
Yeah,
and he's like, "He's find them right now."
Yeah. No.
But how is somebody without that intricate eyesight going to find something that on a quantum level? So
ding, 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 ding. Yes, that's the limitation.
That was another somebody's hell, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's how we explain the known universe, and that's there's a Greek philosopher. I think it was Anaximander, but don't quote me on that. And he was saying, well, you have a substance, you divide it in half, and keep going and going and going. It's like, is there a certain indivisible particle, that you eventually come to? It's like we cannot divide this into anything else. But that, like you said, depends on how good your perception is and how good your knife is. So it's a question of us refining our access to that world that determines, what we know about it.
But the thing about the mirror is that you just brought up the fact that it doesn't matter when you look at the mirror. You're not looking at yourself. You're looking at time-dilated reflection.
Yes.
That person in the mirror is always younger than you are currently.
Yes, but
that time it takes to send the reflection.
For light to travel, yes.
Right.
Between the it seems like it's instantaneous. Yes, but it's not. Yes. And I say, oh wow, all right. So that's the level we're operating at. True, but facetiously true.
Right.
And I don't even know how I'm sure some brilliant minds have figured out. Oh yeah, and in such a small distance, speed of light being as fast as it is, how do you measure that sort of a thing?
Did we make you read the God's Debris?
Doesn't sound familiar. So
I don't think we would have put that in. I don't think that was in our lists. No.
Not even.
I don't think we brought that up to Tom.
The previous.
I don't know what you mean.
The previous book club we were in with Tom.
Oh,
the other one.
Oh.
Because there's. I feel like we made him read it, but anyway, it was called God's Debris, and it's by the guy that wrote Dilbert, Scott Adams.
Scott Adams.
Yeah.
No, I've not read it.
Okay. Because John and I have read it, and as I was going through this, I was like, did it remind you of that at all? And I don't think you thought it did in the beginning. I wouldn't say it's super similar, but there was aspects of it that were.
If you want to talk about the the existence and probabilities,
I mean, probably just the fact that it was philosophical, and I don't think God's Debris is quite as absurd, because it's more about just getting you to think about weird things, but there was just that brief similarity for me.
Have you read Nikki Blue?
No, I've not heard of it.
Escape from Samsara, and I don't remember the other one. I'll have to look it up.
No, it doesn't sound familiar to me, so I think the answer's no.
But if you like absurdist,
there you go. Have at it. But
might have to read some more Flann though, because I'm curious. And curiosity just will get the best of me eventually, I'm sure.
I'd Swim Two Birds would be my suggestion. Yeah. It's bonkers, and it's more about literature than it is about philosophy.
See, I have a hard time with that because I don't know all of the references that he's pulling up. He pulled up a bunch of French ones in this one, so.
Oh yeah, and that's why Joyce appreciated, because Joyce does that too. James Joyce, if you've ever read him. If you ever saw an annotated, online, they have annotation. Every second phrase is oh, it's a different color because he's referring to this. And it's okay, I'll take only things I know for 1,000. It's yeah.
I've never read anything by James Joyce, but I'm reading a romance right now set in Ireland.
There you go.
It's heavily referencing James Joyce. So,
well, like you said, he's not difficult, except like I said. He refers to a lot of things that were current at the time. If you know Irish history and Irish politics, yes, he'll be a better read, more, But that's when, he's an author like Flann O'Brien. That's why he praised Flann O'Brien, because it could be enjoyed reading the book, but as an object of study to find out more about the whole context he's writing about. You know. So I just finished a portrait of the artist as a young man by Joyce. And yeah, same idea. Very first sentence talks about a moo cow, and no, I swear to God. And I have a book of annotations. Well, apparently, in Ireland, there's a legend where a cow comes to take children away to the secret magical island, where they train to be heroes, and it brings them. When they come back, oh, they're heroes! Yay! Community celebrates. How the hell would you look that up, even? And that's in like sentence one. So yeah. So I can see why Joyce would appreciate Flann O'Brien. That's where I was going with that. So
I don't know where to go.
I was gonna say I also don't know. It was just like,
well, another thing, if you recall, Diviny and the main character, it's like they must be frenemies at best, because Diviny like just takes him for all the money he can. It seems like that, like the first part of the book.
But I mean, even going in, I don't know if going into it they were friends at all. I thought he just came across John Divney doing something else, and he goes, "Well, don't do it to me." And then he was like, "Well, I'll help you." And then they just go along. Like after you watch a guy do something bad to somebody else, and be like, "Hey, why don't I join you?"
Right.
I don't.
Yeah, but they were on the same farm together, and they own that. Were in they own that pub together. I'm assuming, or the main character did. But
I thought he wandered into his pub. I didn't think it like he had partial ownership or something.
It seemed like that to me, because like, oh, you need better porter, and we're gonna get you better porter, and that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I do remember that part. Okay.
Yeah, so it sounded like they
would go find better wine, and he came back. Okay,
porter. No, it was porter. Trust me. Porter features in Swim to Birds. That's why I remember it. So,
got you.
Yeah. And we're dealing with the Irish here. But anyway.
Right. My bad.
Did you notice that there were more footnotes in the text than there were in the audiobook?
I wouldn't have noticed that.
Well, you wouldn't have noticed that, but I feel like Tom usually reads both, don't you?
I do both, and every time there was a footnote, they would.
Okay, because like there were a couple of there were a couple of areas where it was like footnote 1 through 4 in the audiobook, but then it was like 5, 6, 7, 8 in the text.
Oh no, that wasn't. Mine matched up.
Like it happened more than once, so I was like, "What's happening here?"
Well, where did you get the audio from?
The audio I got from
not you.
Not you.
I know your answer.
I forget who the narrator is. I got mine on Audible, but I can't remember.
Okay, so you got the Audible one. We had it on the Libra.
From Audible.
We got it. Let's see. I guess maybe because like I did see that there was multiple covers of this. I don't know.
Yeah, there are a few copies.
So we probably got
one. I wonder if there's like a.
Jim Norton is the narrator on Naxos.
Yeah, that's the one. We were probably listening to the same one. But let me see the cover. Like, see, there's the cover of.
Yeah, I see there's 2 different ones.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's like an updated version or something where more footnotes were added. I don't know.
I don't know.
Crazy.
But it's like Terry Pratchett books. His has a lot of footnotes, and they read them when they get to the end of the sentence or something. So same idea here, except that these are some of them are much longer than Pratchett's ever were. So. Yeah, for better or worse. But if you recall, was it the main character? Apart from supporting himself, also wants the money to, write his definitive. What is it? What did he call it? His book on De Selby, who seems like an absolutely crap philosopher, but. If you remember that part, like in the footnotes. Yeah. How night is dark air. And sleep is a series of seizures and whatnot. It's like, There was one of the other one. Oh yeah, people, I forget how he put it, but people should be outside more. It was just funny the way he put it. Not being constrained by walls. It's like every building he designed like would have like one wall, one ceiling, and that's it. Or walls with no ceiling, or ceiling with no walls. So
trying to see.
Big fan of lean-tos.
Yeah. Does really look like you're looking something?
I was looking up to see if I could find what you were just talking about.
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't highlight that one because, like I said, I didn't think it was funny.
The most water-piped edifice in the world.
With all the water, yeah. And that's what they couldn't figure out because, he got all that water in, but no water ever came out. So what the hell did he do with it? It's like the Tom Waits song, "What's he building in there?"
So what was the great story about the third policeman? What was so special about Policeman Fox?
Well, his station was apparently inside the walls of Mathers's place.
That's why I thought he was a ghost to begin with, because he lived in the walls.
Well, no, not necessarily, because and I didn't pick this up. I had to read it outside, but apparently the police stations are 2-dimensional.
Okay.
Okay. Because the main character, maybe it's triangular, but no, which would make.
I did remember that he was like, well, there's a light coming from at least one side, so.
Right.
Yeah. It was a cardboard cutout.
Yeah. But yet they could go in, so it's bigger on the inside than it is on the outside, like your TARDIS. I mean. So. No, but it sounded like Police Fox, just made his own police station and decked it out the way he wanted it to be, and because that seemed like his major reason for bringing him over to the house.
So you're saying like each policeman really kind of had their own manifestation of what their station was supposed to look like?
Well, was it Pluck and I can't remember who the other policeman was. It seemed like it was the one that the main character originally goes to. It seems like it was built for 3. Like Fox was in it at one time, but it seems like he works like an alternate shift, so they never see each other. But
right,
it does exist. So, and then
I thought he had an issue with the other policemen, so he didn't want to be around his philosophies either.
Yeah, well, that's probably true too. But yeah.
Is this and the other book you read, the only 2 things he's written, or does he have
there's one.
Oh boy.
It's not like they're making you read them. They do exist.
I don't know. I'm both like.
Again, well, this is the second Flann of Brian I've read, and I did not expect it either. So. I read, like I said, that Swim Two Birds. But, I think it's very likely that all of his books are like this. You just don't know what the hell you're going to get into until you're inside it, and even then, who the hell knows? But
I guess the idea of somebody having like a whole catalog of absurdist writing like that is just fascinating to me.
Mm-hmm. Well, the other thing I liked was their notion of the atomic theory, where what constitutes, I guess, a molecule of a thing, and the more you ride your bike, the more you become a bike.
I thought that was a play on that towards the end when he took the sergeant's bike, or whoever she was, and he eventually. Like it started making more of him because and he talked about the guy who leaned on things, like he had a kickstand all the time.
Yes.
And then I don't know. So I figured
and he was doing. Yeah, the policeman was doing the same thing.
Right. So I feel like it was just they was just playing off little jokes throughout the whole thing, and I thought that was cute, but the whole but did it have a pump and a bell? I mean, every single question was like, something had to do with the bike. This guy was completely obsessed with the bikes.
Like most of them were. And why did you have a lap? Oh, well, it was stolen. Oh, yeah. I forget. Oh, it's two. I can't remember what the thing was. Yeah, they are very deeply invested in bikes for whatever reason in the afterlife. At least his particular afterlife.
I think he, the policeman and the other one just kind of followed suit a little bit just to humor him along. Like one was obsessed with bikes, one was obsessed with the atomic theory, and I don't know. Fox had a thing, but I don't remember what it was. Unless it was just his space.
Could be. But when he first gets to the station, oh, it's about a bicycle, and at that time it wasn't. But it seemed like the second time it's like, yeah, now it actually is around. So self-fulfilling prophecy. Like Groundhog Day, but so they change one detail, and okay, let's see what happens now.
Right. I actually thought that whole scene would have been a funny like skit or something to act out, or something to see visually, because of the reactions from the policeman about, because he's like, no, I'm actually asking about my American Gold watch.
Yes, you don't have one.
Are you sure? And then he started talking about, now, well, then we got to find the owner. But not how you would think that, but
yeah. Are you sure it's not about a bicycle? So, yeah, the American Gold watch that he doesn't have, as his soul reminds him periodically. His soul Joe. If you recall that.
Did this have like an author note?
What do you mean?
I don't know. Sometimes at the end of books, there's like an author note where it kind of talks about what inspired the story. I didn't get far enough to see if that was the case, but
not in my edition of the book. Because it looks like mine was like, okay, it's just a story. There you go. So no, you have to pay bigger bucks, like for Penguin and such, for that sort of thing. So that's, yes. Welcome to the public domain. What was I going to say? Oh, I think it's Sam Beckett. His Waiting for Godot. It's another absurdist, but when you see the play, and I forget, there were two really good comedians who were playing it. It is actually really funny the way they do it. I think Robin Williams was one of them that I saw a clip of, and I can't remember who the other one was. But yeah, like I said, it doesn't seem like it. We're just reading it, but like when John said, if you act it out, it's like, oh, this is great, So
I can see Robin Williams actually playing some of these parts really well.
A
little too well.
Oh yeah, well, like any of this work.
Yeah, I mean, he's just, because he actually told somebody on air that he suffers from legal insanity. Like he's like I'm, and then he just, while during the interview, he just started slumping in his chair and started messing with the audience. So like, he's like, if any person was the embodiment of absurdist, it'd probably be that guy.
Well, I think in Robin Williams' case, his brain just never shut off.
Yeah.
And
that's true.
Like, if you watch any of the things he's in, you can't tell if he's ad-libbing or not.
He's always on.
Yeah, he's always on. So
that's fascinating.
What?
Because I don't know. Like in God, what was the name of that movie? The How Do You Like Them Apples? With Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. Why can't I remember the name of the movie now?
They're in a lot of movies together.
No, but it was Robin Williams, Ben Affleck, and
I know.
Damon.
You said Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
Well, yes, but Robin Williams was also in it.
Good Will Hunting.
And it was, yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was it. Like he was still funny in that, but like I feel like he played such a serious role. Also, like I don't know, it felt like a different side. of Robin Williams.
Well, if you ever watched The Fisher King.
Yes, we have.
And I understand, speaking of ad-libbing, they were supposed to shoot an outside scene, but there was raining, so they couldn't. So they had to scramble around and get an inside venue, which happened to be the Chinese restaurant, if you remember that scene. And that was entirely ad-libbed.
Wow.
That's like one of my favorite all-time Hollywood movie scenes. So
interesting.
But yeah, and I think that's kind of mine that appreciates, absurdist humor, because it's just you're always on, you're always going. I want that.
Can you hear the cat?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Someone desperately wants something. I'm not sure what it is.
Come on, dude.
Come on, buddy. What's going on?
What are you doing? Stuff? Human stuff?
Oh, he's so big.
He's going to want to go right back out now.
Yeah, probably. That's what cats do.
Yep. Okay. I've inspected the area. I'm done.
Yeah. No, I put him in the chair, and he stepped on the cushion. He was like, he looked down at it like the most confused, like, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen a cat emote in such a way.
Yeah, I don't know. Is there any more you'd like to add?
I this is one of those things where unless something, a memory, like pings a memory, I'm not gonna pull something out of the air for it. Like,
let's see what I have highlighted here. Here's one. Dentists are an unpredictable coterie of people. Yeah, it's all in the teeth.
All the diseases start in the teeth.
In the teeth, yeah.
Anything wrong with a man is wrong with his teeth.
Yeah. I found it hard to think of a time when there was no road there, because the trees and the tall hills and the fine views of bogland have been arranged by wise hands for the pleasing picture they made and looked at from the road. Without a road to have them looked at from, they would have a somewhat aimless, if not futile aspect. And I thought that was a great line.
I agree.
What was the other one I highlighted?
So you think the policeman died from something, from his teeth rotting, from something like that? No.
No, if it's hell, you don't die in hell.
I'm saying, like, how did he end up there? Like, what was it that put him there?
You don't know. I mean, that's the thing. I don't think we were ever made.
And the description that they gave him when he came in, it seemed like he was overinflamed all over, like like a diabetic, or So
it looked like Mathers, and then it didn't.
Oh, the Mathers thing going back and forth, and then them saying that Fox looks like another version of Mathers. I remember that.
Yep.
Mathers was the man that they beat to death?
Yeah.
Okay. And then he saw
it was his cash box they wanted.
Okay, so that's why he saw Mathers in his own house when he went in there, because
correct.
He was already
Mathers
dead.
was already dead.
Now I understand that scene. Okay.
See, that's what I said. It's kind of like a Sixth Sense sort of thing once you understand that.
Okay,
Yeah. The only other thing I highlighted, I guess, was a sentence that I was like, I'm highlighting this so I can reread it again 4 times later, because it says, in Russia, said the sergeant, they make teeth out of old piano keys for elderly cows, but it's a rough land without too much civilization. It would cost you a fortune in tires.
A fortune in tires.
Because you have to ride your bicycle there.
Oh my God.
And Russia's a big country.
and it's rough,
I just got that
terrain
now.
Rough terrain, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, wait, they're using piano keys to make teeth for cows?
Cows got to eat.
And there's the enchanted moo cow I told you about, just prior. So yeah, it's probably a hero of Irish folklore. I don't know. I'm kidding. I don't know.
Is it the other way around?
What?
They said they make teeth for cows out of ivory.
Mm-hmm. Yes. It wouldn't surprise you if they made it for humans at that time too, but they had to be really expensive, I think.
Oh, before then it was wood.
Yeah. So here's another one I highlighted. This is the last one. This is from apparently the one of the footnotes. This benign property of his prose is not, one hopes, to be attributed to the reason noticed by the eccentric Du Garbandier, who said the beauty of reading a page of de Selby is that it leads one inescapably to the happy conviction that one is not, of all nincompoops, the greatest.
I guess basically saying if you can read one of these pages, he'll make you feel better about how dumb you are.
Yeah. At least I'm not as bad as he is. I hope.
He's clawing my leg for attention.
Why?
He's, hey, pet me. Hey, pet me.
You're doing something else. You're not paying attention.
Correct.
Yeah.
Or do you want to be in
Do you
it?
want to see if he has food in his bowl?
I fed him before we came in here.
Okay.
Unless he's
he's
telling us somebody else ate it.
Oh, okay.
Because he has done that. He'll actually come tell me that someone else is eating his food.
It's probably him, but hey.
Yeah. Probably.
You might be getting scammed right now.
He's the biggest cat in the house.
Yeah, like I said, it's one of those books where you just say, okay, apparently we're doing this now. Just go with it. Some people can handle it, some can't, which I get. It's not a diss. It's just like, it's kind of directionless.
I have a series of books that I have a feeling it may not be as absurdist, but I have a feeling that it's fairly absurdist, and I should probably just read the first 10 pages and figure out if I'm gonna hold on to them or get rid of them.
What are you talking about?
There's a whole series written by 3 authors, and the first book I want to say is called My Plain Jane.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's kind of absurdist.
Mm-hmm.
I was just saying that I should I have several books in the series, so I should probably just read the first 10 pages and see.
Figure out if you can.
So that way I could just let them go if
Right.
it's too absurdist, because I'm not gonna read 400 pages of that.
Well, I understand there's a lot of philosophy in this work. I'm not a student of philosophy, so most of it escapes me. But I saw one review where the philosopher's head over heels for it because it's all this and that, and I was like, well, good for you.
I love that for him. Yeah.
I'm glad you rated it 5 stars. Yeah, knock yourself off, sort of a thing. So, but yeah, it is clever in its way. So, and it suffers maybe from too many ideas rather than
Yeah, I get that.
So, but it is very, very creative. I will give them that.
But if you can intertwine those ideas and have some decent callbacks to them, I can understand the enjoyment of it. But I didn't understand some of the things.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I'm not a philosophy person, so I'm sure I missed a lot. Especially with the Selby stuff. But I just thought it was funny how they were arguing and basically crapping all over each other, the commentators back and forth. The rivalries and such. This is academia. Publisher parents. So, yeah, well, at least I'm not Hatchjaw or whatever the thing is.
Yeah, was it Hatchjaw?
Yeah, it was Hatchjaw. Or the one asked him to. Yeah, I think it was Hatchjaw to basically go back and attack the article that he praised or something like that. So yeah, that sounds like academia. So and the main character wants to, join that fray, I guess. It's Codex, I think it was. I know DeShelby had one, but no, it's like an index of the commentaries. That's what it was. But you want to catalog all the commentaries of DeShelby's works and have it all in one place. So, good, bad, or indifferent. For the one person who's going to read it, maybe I'll learn. So, your final thoughts?
Ooh. I did it.
Yeah,
you did. Yeah, well done, you.
3 stars. I think
Okay.
it might deserve some more than that, but I'd have to give it a reread to understand a little more. I can't put that on the author. That's my
Right.
that's my failings.
Right.
So,
Well, it's not necessarily your feelings. The reason for the rating, as we always say, is it's not the quality of the book. It's how you like the book, how you connected with the book, and that's the different thing. So,
I was gonna say that I wasn't gonna rate it because I respect it enough to just be like, this is not for me. Right. So like, I don't feel like I should rate it. But if we're talking about solely based on my enjoyment, then I would probably give it 1 star. But that's literally just based on my enjoyment, not the writing, or because I could still see how it's good writing and I could see how someone would enjoy it. And like, again, I'm still kind of reflecting on if absurdist is like an acquired taste, if I just have to be exposed to it enough to like.
Well,
did you like? No, I can't think of the name of it. Douglas Adams.
That one that I asked you to read.
Something about the galaxy. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I didn't read the Hitchhiker's Guide.
Okay. So that's not what else. That's what did you ask me to read?
I asked you to read something about an investigator. I feel like I don't remember the title, but
now I'm curious about that. But I'm just saying, the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was. I mean.
Oh yeah, it was.
I think I watched the movie.
It's not the same. I know I didn't read the book, but
right, I did.
I want to go back and read it because of that, but I just if it's like that at all, then I would say absurdist is really not for you. Did you like any of the Terry Pratchett stuff that we've done?
So I liked it more than
I know the big issue is not for Desiree.
About that.
I feel like I enjoyed.
Which is why I've never revisited it.
I definitely, if I'm gonna like, of all the absurdist things that I have read at this point, I think I probably liked Mort the best.
Okay.
Well, it's the only Discworld novel you read, right?
Of Terry Pratchett?
Yeah.
By himself? Yeah.
Okay, I'm supposed to Good Omens. Got it. Okay.
And like this and the Douglas Adams that I tried to read.
So you didn't read it, but you want me to read it?
I was struggling with it.
Oh, so you want me to
and
translate.
I wanted you to yes. Yes.
Okay.
And so I asked you to read it, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not getting through this. This is not making sense to me. And like we literally disbanded that whole book club based on that book.
Like, what?
It was God, what book was it? Hold on.
You're surely not talking about Mort, because we did.
No.
Okay.
It was a Douglas Adams book in a different book club I was in.
Oh, Dirk Gently?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
what is it?
Dirk Gently.
Oh, okay.
Dirk Gently,
I do remember you telling me you wanted me to read that. Okay.
Because I was like, I've read this much and I have no idea what's happening. I was like, here, John, please translate.
They seem to very much like police and detective work.
That was the other thing I was going to say, is that a lot of times it just feels like a bunch of arguing. Like,
if you're talking about academic egos, yes.
Yeah.
Like, but why is this thing happening? Well, I don't know. It just seems like
it's debate.
Like,
Desiree,
sure,
not arguments.
Sure.
Hmm. Yeah, debate's just an argument in a high rank district. But,
Oh my god.
no, but what I was reading, have you? How familiar? Again, sorry, Desiree. This is another British humor. How familiar are you with Monty Python?
I love it.
Okay, then John, this is for you. Do
Des,
you
are you-
recall the bicycle repairman sketch?
No.
Look it up online. I won't do it, but yeah, look it up online. Because that's like right through the book is it.
So-
That's the only thing I could think of.
Is the bottom line for a lot of these absurdists just philosophy? Because I feel like the
Oh
life
yeah,
of Brian was
yeah.
all philosophy. And then the search for the Holy Grail was literally just making fun of everything we've done in history.
You have to remember that I think just about all they met at Cambridge.
Okay.
You know, and they're all like Cambridge graduates. So yeah, but it's so it's so smart. It's stupid.
Right. Right.
Like for example, if you remember Life of Brian with the Roman soldier, John Cleese playing the Roman soldier.
Yeah.
The Grand Chabot. No, and they're doing with declensions of Latin nouns and such or Latin verbs. Yes, and I'm sure they all went through that.
Right.
Any Latin scholar would appreciate that. But yeah, but they were very smart, But a lot of things we did, like I said, were absurd and really dumb.
But they made it's just, I mean, how can you not just make fun of it's what is it Mike Judge did with Idiocracy? We're supposed to make it that like it wasn't supposed to come to fruition, but I mean like he was making fun of all of that back then.
That was a horror movie.
It was a horror movie?
It was a documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is totally not real.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
But yeah, I will look up and I'll send it to you. Like I said, I don't want to spoil the surprise.
I mean, we're probably gonna watch it together.
Yeah, it's a quick, like I said, it's from the Monty Python Flying Circus sketch show. Yeah, where they would
I don't
also
think I've
have.
seen all of those. The one that I'm most often have seen come to mind is the one where they fed the guy. He goes, "Oh, just one more bite."
Oh yes, the meaning of life.
You went to mint.
Oh, one more shit.
Mint. You had. Oh, I really can't fit anything else in here.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think one of my favorite of theirs, again from Life of Brian. What there's the revolutionaries say, what have the Romans ever done for us? Oh, bridges, the aqueducts, and they go like 5 minutes like to see all the things that the Romans gave them. It was great.
The dead parrot was just ridiculous, though.
And again, yeah, or the lumberjacks or anything like that. Yeah, it's
Dude, all of it.
Very smart people, but
now I'm gonna have to go back and watch some of these things because
really smart people making really dumb, comedy, and that's why it works. Rowan Atkinson is another one.
Oh, Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So, have you seen a lot of stuff from Jimmy Carr lately?
No, I have not.
What was the movie we just watched that he wrote?
Oh, Feckham Hall.
Feckham Hall. Yep.
Oh, I've heard of it. Yes.
Oh my, you would love that.
Okay, I'll look at it. So anyway, I think we're a little bit off the topic.
Yeah, Tom, you had to give your final thoughts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think I would give it a 4. Like I said, it's not like once I understood the framework of the story, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. And Flann, like Han Gong and a lot of other authors, like you can't get it all in the first reading. You have to read it again.
Yeah, I did realize that.
So, but yeah, like I said, it was just absurdist and okay, we're doing this now. Like I said, and here we go.
And, yeah, that whole we're doing this now. Yeah, I like that.
That's yeah.
This is where we're going. All right.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Strap yourselves in. It's gonna be a hell of a ride.
Literally.
So our book club pick for April is The Merge by Grace Walker.
Is it
I
Walker?
think so. If I can spell the merge. Yeah. Grace Walker. And that's the cover.
I like the premise so far.
I haven't started it yet.
There's a lot of things in it that are very tied into what's going on in our reality right now, so it's not going to be the fun part.
Okay.
But it's definitely it's going to be a thinker, and I like those.
Okay. We just had one. I have another one.
I'm going to have to retouch the last one though. So
different.
this one I could probably get in one shot, but the other one I'm going to have to go back to.
All right. Well, everyone, thanks for joining us on a Friday night, which is a little bit different than our Saturday afternoons. Yeah. But if you've gotten this far, once again, you can join us on camera to discuss the book by joining patreon.com/LibriLabra as a book club VIP member. And there's a bunch of different perks. You do get a custom bookmark. You get to be in a rotation where you help pick the books, and in a exclusive Facebook chat where we talk about some of the media that we're consuming. We have not finalized a date for when we're talking about the merge, but it will probably be.
We're going to aim for 3 weeks instead of 4.
Oh, okay.
That way we can catch up, right?
Way, yeah. Let me see. Look at the calendar really quick.
Well, maybe I'm wrong with that.
It'll probably be like
2nd or 3rd?
First week of May. Hopefully. So just be on the lookout for that. I'll try to schedule it in advance so that way people know. But thank you and have a wonderful weekend. So bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.